We got married, and I would say maybe that second year, I started going to therapy. And so I'm just being honest. I'm going to be transparent.
Yes.
So I'm in that therapy session. It was like my first time taking therapy serious. And I'm in there and I'm just going like, talking about, the different things within our relationship and really pointing most of the fingers towards my spouse.
Yes.
And when I finished, that lady was like, she was an older woman and she was a woman of God.
Yes.
When I finished, she was like, "You're not whole."
Ooh.
And that was the first time somebody had said that to me. And I think because of, as you described me, right, I'm thinking like I'm so poised and I'm nice. I try to be nice. I try to treat people right. I feel like I did everything right. She was correct. When she called that out and told me, and I feel a lot of women, we aren't. So that's a whole nother conversation. But for me to go to that session and I was looking at everything else around me and putting fault on everything else. And when I got it all out, she was like, "No, you need to look at yourself." And she was like, "You're not whole." And so that started like my wholeness journey.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Middle Child Podcast with your girl, Royal Boles. And as always, you are seen here, you are loved here, and most definitely you are appreciated here. I am super excited. Oh my God, for so many different reasons. I have this absolutely amazing, beautiful woman who has been so gracious to grace the couch, guys. I've been following her for years. I told her that offline, but I can't wait for you guys to see who I have today. Without further ado, I want to introduce you to the also amazing and beautiful Miss Synetta Smith. How are you?
Hello, I'm good.
I'm so happy to have you here.
I am too. Thank you for inviting me. This is my first podcast.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, we're finna have fun there. We're about to have fun. I'm so happy you said yes. I was terrified to ask you.
Why?
Oh, because like I said, I've been seeing you for like years.
Yeah.
And it's just like your poise, like how you carry yourself. Like you're just a mogul to me. And so to ask you, I was like, oh my, like I was shaking sending the message. And you was just like, yeah, of course. I'm like,
yes,
okay.
We here.
Yes. All right. So I like to ask my guests, if you could describe your life right now in one word, what would it be?
I would say evolving.
Oh, that's good.
Evolving. I'm rediscovering myself.
Yeah.
I just turned 36. And I feel like I'm finally in a season or a space where I'm comfortable, like with myself, being authentic to who I am, no longer people pleasing, and putting myself first in every area of my life. So right now I'm just really evolving and learning myself. And so I really love that.
That's nice. What made you get to the point of let's rediscover?
Oh, okay. So like I said, I just turned 36. And when I got married at 30, I got married at 30. And I feel like, not to say that like we weren't going to get married, but I feel like it was that pressure of age. Because my husband and I had been together off and on for so many years, right? So it was like 30. Everybody's like, when are y'all get married? We got married. And I would say maybe that second year, I started going to therapy. And so I'm just being honest. I'm going to be transparent.
Yes.
So I'm in that therapy session. It was like my first time taking therapy serious. And I'm in there and I'm just going like, talking about, the different things within our relationship and really pointing most of the fingers towards my spouse.
Yes.
And when I finished, that lady was like, she was an older woman and she was a woman of God.
Yes.
When I finished, she was like, "You're not whole."
Ooh.
And that was the first time somebody had said that to me. And I think because of, as you described me, right, I'm thinking like I'm so poised and I'm nice. I try to be nice. I try to treat people right. I feel like I did everything right. She was correct. When she called that out and told me, and I feel a lot of women, we aren't. So that's a whole nother conversation. But for me to go to that session and I was looking at everything else around me and putting fault on everything else. And when I got it all out, she was like, "No, you need to look at yourself." And she was like, "You're not whole." And so that started like my wholeness journey. And so throughout that, I've been working like on my healing, my mindset, again, working on like people pleasing and really putting myself first and being selfish. I think being selfish is like, okay.
Yeah.
So just throughout that journey, I've done a lot of deconstructing, reprogramming.
Yeah.
And just really sitting with myself. Because before, I'll be honest, I wasn't okay with myself, you know? So right now, I'm being more authentic and just really being true to who I am. So I'm still in that evolving state.
Yeah.
But I would say, even outside of evolving, I would say now starting to restructure what my life looks like, learning new things, doing things that I've always wanted to do. So that's what started it. My wholeness journey.
That is heavy.
Yeah.
And heavy in a good way, because everything that you just spoke, I feel like it's what I'm going through right now. I'm learning to be authentically myself, and having a mic in front of me, I feel like it's even more pressure, because it's kind of like you see like how people run theirs and you're just kind of like, oh, let me show up like this. But in reality, it's just kind of like, no, like be you.
Be you.
So how, after she told you that, what was like your next step? Was it kind of like denial, or was it just, how did you work your way through that process?
I would say I had a little bit of denial, because again, I thought I was just like Miss Perfect, you know? But again, going through those sessions, I'm such an advocate for therapy. So like my friends and family, if they're coming to me, then I'm like, you need to go to therapy. You need to go to therapy. And it may take you a few times to try different people. I've had like 3 different therapists throughout this journey, but it was really me learning to sit with myself and really having certain scriptures that I stood on during that time.
Yeah.
And just knowing that I stand firm on knowing that everything is working for my good. So that was maybe going back to like maybe 32. So that was like maybe 4 years ago. But I had to sit with myself, you know, and learn to be okay with who I am. And we, of course, see our physical, right?
Yeah.
We can dress up, we can do this, we can do that, but it's really like the inner work that needs to be done. So what's crazy was like, I'll tell people like, oh, I had to work on my wholeness. And they were like, oh, you just look this, and that. And I'm like, just because I presented myself that way does not mean that I was pleased with myself and just the thoughts that we have and the boundaries we put up or the limiting beliefs. So it's really mindset. I like to kind of go back to your question. I had to sit with self, and I really had to work on my mindset.
And I think that's hard for a lot of people, because they're scared to face the man in the mirror, because that's a different beast.
Yeah.
When you have to face the person that you live with 24/7, it's very uncomfortable. And unless you have a made up mind, you can't really work through the process on its own.
Right. It's so easy for us to have a victim mindset.
Yes.
And to put everything that's going on with us on everybody else, when no, it's really you. Like we have the power, the authority to do the work to change it. So again, once I had to take ownership for myself, right? Because I go back to when I originally went to that therapy session, I am blaming the other factors in my life on certain things. And no, she had to pinpoint it back at me. And she was like, baby girl, you're not whole. And so I appreciate her for that and her wisdom. And with her being an older woman, she was able to call that out, you know? And I see that so much in other women now. And self-love. That was a whole nother factor too as well. So with that wholeness, I realized I didn't love myself. And so when you don't love yourself, you'll put up with different things, or you'll settle for different things. You'll put yourself last, or you'll accept anything. So I really had to work on that self-love as well. So that wholeness journey, healing, and self-love goes hand in hand. Like I love myself so much now. And I think everyone should love themselves. And it's not being cocky or being full of yourself. If you don't love yourself, who is going to love you? You know, so all of that was like a combination of things I've had to work on to get here to now, like I'm ready to evolve and just restructure what my life looks like.
That's amazing. What was one of the scriptures that kind of held you in that season?
I would say one thing was, God will supply all of my needs according to his riches and glory. And again, I want to be transparent, and I think my husband will be okay with me saying this. But in that season where I said I went to therapy, that was during a season where I had moved out, right? And so with me, I met my husband when I was like 22. So my husband is great. He has always like provided for me. He's always been there for me. My husband helped me graduate school.
Ooh, nice.
I competed in Miss Alabama USA pageant. Like he helped me with that. Anything I want to do, my husband's going to help me. So I found myself when I got married. And so that year of me doing that therapy and working on my wholeness, I had to, again, reprogram my mindset to say, okay, now I'm a wife. And I had to stand on that God will supply all of my needs according to his riches and glory, because my husband and my marriage had become an idol.
Oh, that's good.
You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
So I was leaning on my husband or that status of the marriage, or now me, quote unquote, being a wife, right? Because women in that patriarchal system, that's what we're kind of, especially in the South, we're kind of conditioned to be. Once I had to sit with myself, I had to realize I can do this, and God will supply. It's me and God. God will supply all of my needs according to his riches and glory. So once I stood on that, and that was my year of like, still we were married, but I was on my own. It changed my mindset, and now I move differently as a wife in my marriage than that girlfriend or the fresh wife that I was at the beginning. Because it was just a whole like idol thing. I went and got like baptized and everything again, because I realized I had so many idols in my life. I think it's Deuteronomy. I may be wrong. I may know, but sometimes the chapter of the verse may not be right. But I remember I was studying it, and it was talking about idols. And that's what stuck with me so much, that I had so many idols in my life.
Oh my goodness.
And so I was like, I'm finna go get baptized again. I never even posted it. I don't even think I told my mom. It was like my third time being baptized. But no, I told my mom the day that I was going to get baptized. And so she came to see it. But I was like, I realized I had so many idols in my life. And that was putting those people or things above myself and God. So when I just laid all of that out, it's like all of that shifted the trajectory, I feel like, of how my 30s went.
Oh my good. Oh, okay. I'm over here. I'm so full. I got two questions before we come over the mountain. One, during that season, did you have to like isolate? Did you have to restrain from, in order to get like yourself on the right track?
I did isolate in a healthy way.
Okay.
And when I say I isolated in a healthy way, because that was my first time living by myself.
Got it.
I had never experienced that before. It's always either been like me and my mom's house, or when my parents were married, my mom and my dad, then my mom, or then my husband when we were we lived together. So that season of isolation was really me for a whole year by myself. And I needed that. I don't recommend other wives to do that, but for me, I needed that to rediscover myself. But it was also healthy. I had healthy isolation because I started to open up to new friendships. So I was connecting with other people. And so that was getting me out of my comfort zone and creating new relationships, because I was kind of cut off to friendships too, creating new friendships. So it was a healthy experience of isolation, because I think to me having that whole year just to myself, that was isolation, but I still got to know myself, and I was open up to new friends as well.
Yeah, that is nice. That's amazing. All right. So I always ask people, was there like a specific prayer you were praying before everything kind of started to fall apart? So like, for instance, as an example, earlier this year, I went to Costa Rica for my birthday. And before I left, I said, God, I need something big to take place. Not nothing traumatic, but I need something to reshift my focus. When I came back from Costa Rica, my suitcase never made it back for 8 days. And in my head, I was asking for something big, like in your face big, but it was the inconvenience of not having my items in my hand. So I'm always curious, as before it seems like life is falling apart, was there like a prayer of, God, redirect my focus, or anything?
I would say when life was falling apart, it was everything is working for my good, according to his riches and glory. Like I stood on that, and now I embody that. I feel everything works out for my good. I feel like the favor I have over my life, the grace and the wisdom, everything works out for my good.
Yeah.
The enemy may have meant it for bad,
yes,
but it's gonna work out for my good because I'm God's daughter, and I stand on that. So, and I think now, like I said, I stood on that, but now I feel like I embody it. Like that is my reality, that everything is gonna work out for my good.
Yeah, that's a different level of honestly like tapping into the scripture when you actually can embody it. And I think one of the ones that reminds me of, he makes your mistakes to prosper.
Yes.
So even if I'm not purposely trying to make mistakes, it's just when I feel like I heard them and I went a different route, even those moments prosper.
Right.
And so that's just amazing.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. All right. So now we went through our healing journey. We've came over the mountain, and then were you starting this brunch before then, or did that kind of come out of all of this?
It came out of all of this.
Okay.
I love everybody.
Okay.
I'm gonna start it off, but I really love women.
Yes.
And I feel that God does not play about his daughters.
Yeah.
Like we are his princesses, right?
Yes.
And so again, me going through all of that I just shared with you, again, me focusing on myself, learning to create wholeness, and now evolving and redirecting myself, or restructuring how my life looks. I would say, when did I have my first brunch? That was last year.
Okay.
So naturally, I just love dancing. I don't go to the club as much, but I do like going out, you know. And I was like, my birthday is in March. That's Women's Month. And I was like, I would just love to go out, have fun, so I can dance and twerk, and it be a safe environment where like men are not all around. And I was like, let me just see, wouldn't it be dope if I could have like a brunch? Because I had been hosting these prayer in the parks with my friend Portia. So I had already started doing that with the brunches. So I was like, what if I just did like a brunch day party? And I posted it on my story. And I was like, what if I did like a women's only like brunch party at a club? And women started DMing. They was like, I would love that. And that's how it started. So,
oh my goodness. And the name of it is
Become Her Lifestyle.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, I honestly haven't even tapped into that brand fully, how I feel that God has called me to serve women in that area. So I had my first brunch, that was last year. I had another one this year. I also had a Galentine's event this year for the first time, and that was amazing. And so this year, hopefully I plan on stepping into more of like the wellness space as well. But I just want to create that community here of women. Someone told me, they were like, you're the perfect person to get women together in the city. Cause she was like, it was just so many different cliques of women there, but it was just a good vibe and good energy. But I know that I want to do like products and apparel. So I'm trying to just balance it all, because I do work a corporate job too as well. So with balancing like being a wife and my corporate job, I'm just at the beginning of the Become Her Lifestyle brand.
Oh my goodness. How did that name come about for you?
I don't know what year it was, but during all that I just told you, kind of that 32, 34, God will give me words for a year, and my word was become.
Okay.
So that was like one of the words for, I can't remember what year. And so that's what kind of like birthed. I have so many notes in my phone of just ideas over the past 4 years of things that I want to produce within the brand.
Yes.
So it came from that word that year, probably was that wholeness year that my word was become. And so that's what kind of birthed. And then me being a woman, and people just, I feel like they tell me, I don't want to say their business, but women can talk to me. I feel like I'm maybe relatable. So I can talk to a woman and she'll just start telling me, like, we all go through the same things, you know?
Yes.
Sometimes as women, I feel like we can judge other women, but honestly, deep down, we go and experience the same things. Either you are in the season, you're finna go in the season, or you're just coming out of it. So I know that my purpose is God has called me to women.
Yes.
Sometimes I just got to get out of my own way. And really do the thing. But that's how all of that was birthed. So it was become, then me realizing that God has called me to women. So I did like the Become Her. And as you see I say it more in the spiritual realm, you can see that women are rising right now.
Yes.
Because becoming is trending right now. A lot of women are evolving.
Yes.
And then lifestyle now, as I'm saying evolving, I realize It's a lifestyle change that I have to make. So you can do all the healing, you can do all the work, but if you don't change those habits and change your lifestyle, you're going to still stay in that same space.
Yes.
So that's kind of how the overall brand was birthed to the Become Her lifestyle.
That's so amazing, because I think that's what people fail to understand is you get caught back up in the cycles if you're just not intentional about, like you said, the whole lifestyle change. Like you have to go through a season of disconnecting or repositioning in order to embrace all that God has for you.
That's it. Because you, like you said, you can do the inner work.
Yes.
You can do that work looking in yourself, and you may realize, okay, girl, I need to change this, I need to change that. But if you do not change those habits and change your lifestyle and your environment, all that work you did, like you said, you're going to continue to stay in that cycle.
Yes, known and void.
Yes.
I'm going through that right now, and it's the ugly part of it. And what's sustaining me is just knowing the result.
Yes.
What's sustaining me is just knowing that He'll do exceedingly abundantly more than I can ask. So if I'm asking for healing, that means He's going to give me wholeness. And so it's just the reconstruction of mind.
Yeah.
So that's just major. Oh my goodness. Yeah. All right. So we're going to go back just a little bit.
Okay.
Because like I was telling you before, I've followed you for quite like some time. And you were in like brand ambassador, modeling and stuff like that. How did you even enter that industry? Was that something that you just knew that you wanted to do?
I feel like I've always just kind of known. I feel like people have always told me like, oh, you should model. I've always done, like I said, in high school, I did like a beauty pageant.
Yeah.
And then I did me doing Miss Alabama USA pageant was just kind of random. It was like a bucket list, and then I ended up competing in it.
Yeah.
But that was, I think, when I didn't even realize like content was a thing then, because that was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So I was, now that I take it back though, I was actually creating content with people at the University of Alabama that I went to school with. But again, it wasn't what it is now.
Yeah.
We were just getting to get together like stylists, makeup artists, and just doing photo shoots. And I was always like the muse. And then when I came back home from school, just meeting with other photographers and creatives, I just started shooting and creating content, what we call content now.
Yeah.
And I met Carrie. I love Carrie, and she started managing me, and she introduced me to TV and film in Atlanta. So I started doing like background work with like Tyler Perry. I did Bad Boys. I think it may be like their third show, some BET shows. So I was going back and forth to Atlanta a lot.
Yeah.
And then COVID happened. So COVID happened, the industry, kind of shut down during that season. And then again, I got married.
Okay.
So I was trying to be like a wife, if that makes sense. I was like, let me just focus on this. And then I started focusing on more of my career, my corporate career. So that was new for me too. And I'm proud of myself. I've done well. Like the company I work for, I just got like my 4th promotion. Like I've been focused, but I do miss like modeling. So I want to get back into it and really start creating more content.
Yes, because you're absolutely phenomenal at it.
Thank you.
I gotta say that you're one of those people that when I did model, I looked at, and I'm not gonna lie, you're one of the reasons why I stopped modeling. Not in a bad way. Let me address that. It was because when I first started, I was going down the path of more of a video vixen route. So yeah, I came in, I think Carrie was the reason why I started modeling.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I did Curvy Girls. And so at the time, it just happened so fast. She asked me one day to wear one of her shirts. And before I knew it, she came and she was like, hey, I got 4 bookings for you.
Got you booking busy.
Wait. But I started moving so fast that I started going down the video vixen route. And when I started seeing like real models in my head, like you, like when I actually started studying Tyra Banks and stuff like that, I was just kind of like, no, this was the path that I wanted to go down.
Right.
So I remember asking myself one day, I said, if your daughter was to ask you if she could do this, what would be your response? And I was just like, oh, we got to stop. Like we just got to stop. And so when I came back, I want to say maybe like a year or 2 ago, I started going by like the whole wealthy wife style. And it's just kind of like the more ballroom, elegant type. And that's why I say you were the reason why I stopped, but then started back, because of your poise and how you carried yourself.
Thank you.
And so, yeah, when I say I've been following you, girl, I have been following you.
But it's hard here to do in the South, and then even in Alabama or in Birmingham, because that's pretty much what it is. It's more of that video vixen. So I could see how you could get in that world because there's not, how am I trying to say it? It's just not a lot of exposure to other styles of modeling. Even in Atlanta, you can still kind of get caught in that same versus like in New York or LA. It's just a different world.
It is. It's very different. Okay, so with that being said, we have to address the elephant in the room, although there's not an elephant in the room. But you are one of our Belle Collective.
Yes.
How is it? Let's rewind. How was getting that call, that email, that moment?
So I will never forget. Stormy actually DM'd me one day. I had already been following her. I love Stormy. And she was like, hey, would you be interested in doing a reality show? So I'm like, sure. Yeah. You know, she's like, okay, the casting people may reach out to you. So I didn't know that it was for Belle Collective. Yeah. And I'm a reality girl. I watch reality TV.
Yeah.
So once I got the phone call about the show for casting and I realized it was Belle Collective. And again, anything I say right now, I'm gonna give a disclaimer. No shade, no tea. I just want to be authentic to myself, right? As I'm telling, this is my experience. So when I was like, okay, I didn't really know if I wanted to do that reality show because I knew what it all embodied, I would say. And I'm not really like a drama type of person, right? So the casting person reached out to me. She was like, you know, can we meet? I'm like, okay, sure. And I'll never forget, before we did the casting, like the interview, I'm like, girl, I don't even want to waste your time. I was like, I'm not finna do this, you know? She was like, no, waste it. You know what I'm saying? She was like, waste my time. Yeah. So did the call, because I'm telling her, like, I'm not finna do this show. So I was like, I don't want to waste your time. So we do the interview with myself and my husband, and it went well. I was very authentic to my story, kind of a little bit what I shared with you. And so we did the interview, my husband and I. My husband is a great ball of energy, so he did well as well. Yeah. And so then that was maybe like in April. Okay. And then October, I get the phone call that the show was greenlit or whatever. And so then I have receipts if I really want to go. I have receipts showing the casting I didn't want to do this. And then when production started to reach out to me about the show, I'm just like, I don't want to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, for your ego, yes. Like your ego was like, yes, like the first really reality show in my city is coming here. Yeah. You know, I'm like, of course I want to do it. So yeah, my ego wanted to do it. Right. But like my soul and my spirit was like, it's not aligned with you. Yes. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So I was just like, I don't want to do it. I kept turning it down. I'm telling them, like, I can find y'all some girls in Birmingham. They'll sign any contract you want. You know, they'll take any pay you want. I know some girl and they'll give you a show. Yeah. You know, they were like, no, we want you. You know, a lot of people knew you, like your name kept coming up. So I'm just like, no, I turned down that contract so many times. Yeah. And I understood why they wanted me, because I feel like when it came to the Birmingham girls, I knew everyone. So I was even like, let me be a friend of. I have a text, me telling her like, I weighed the pros and the cons, and this is not the season for me. Let me be a friend of, you know, because it's like, okay, I can get a little bit exposure, but because I'm private too as well. I'm like, I don't want to put all my business out here, you know. Everything in my life is going good. That reality can open up a floodgate of just things you didn't ask for. Correct. So turned down the contract one more time. One of the producers called me. I said, okay, I'm gonna do it for you. Fuck it. I was like, I'm gonna do it. Did it. Yeah, so that was kind of how I got the phone call about everything. But ideally, like, it wasn't something I would just say, like, I'm like, oh, I wanted to do. I was debating back and forth about doing it. Yeah.
And even once you got into production, did your mind, like, did you just kind of feel relieved at that point? Because it didn't turn out as bad as you anticipated it?
Honestly, I can say... This goes to, I'm gonna say this first. A lot of people around me was telling me that I should do it. When I kept saying, like, when I knew that the Holy Spirit in me was telling me, Synetta, this is not aligned to, again, because I just told you what I knew God has called me to do. Yes. I love reality show to watch it, but there's no way for me, and I'm just speaking for me, that I could go on a show and either show me battling with, and naturally that's not even me. Like, I've never been in conflict with women. That's naturally not who I am.
Yeah.
There's no way I could go on a show and be negative towards women. And then even that season, everything is going good with me and my husband.
Right.
We're evolving, and he said it best. He felt that they didn't want to show a couple evolving, right? Because me and my husband are not perfect. We've been with each other since 22 and 33, you know? I think that that's what they thought they were going to get out of me.
Yeah.
And I didn't give that. So going back to that, as I kept going through the experience, I kept saying, I should not have listened to everyone else, and I should have stuck with my first mind and not done this. That's the only thing I gotta say. That's the only thing I gotta say with that. Like, I was like, forget everyone that kept telling me to do it. I was like, oh, you should be on TV. Like, you're made for TV. You're made for this. So that was my lesson with that. Overall, I enjoyed the experience because, again, I knew all of the Belles. I was able to finish, that first season with me still in healthy relationships with all of the women, and then even got to know Stormy better. And then my therapist said it best when I called her and I told her, you really haven't addressed this, but I was a main, and then I ended up getting moved to a friend of. But when I called her and I told her the reasons, we were just like, all the work that I have been doing, I displayed that on the show. You know what I'm saying? Like, my emotional intelligence, the work that I had been doing, I'm embodying it now. Because sometimes you can think and I know I feel like I'm kind of all over the place, but sometimes you feel like you've done the work, but it's not until you get triggered or it's in your face, it still comes out. But so,
okay. It's so much I want to touch on. I'm glad you said that, because I was actually kind of teetering between if I wanted to bring that up. But one of the things that registered in my head was God's protection. Because like you said, you started off as a main, but then you ended up being a friend. And that was God like, all right, cool. She listened, but she really didn't listen. So let me still protect her in this.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that, right? And that's it. So I'll never forget, I got the phone call about me being turned down, or I say demoted, to a friend of. And so I'm calling the Belles and I'm telling them, and I'll never forget when I end up calling Tiffany. That was the first thing she said, because Tiffany and I and Amber had been talking about, the show before, when we got the phone call, kind of realized we were going to be on the cast. And again, I kept being like, I don't think I should do this. Right when I called Tiffany and told her that I got the news that they had moved me to a friend of, she said, that was God's protection. That was the first thing out of her mouth. She was like, because friend, she was like, you kept saying God told you not to do this. And she was like, that goes to show your disobedience. But what did I just tell you? Everything works out for my good. So although I did the show originally, I wanted to be a friend of. So I got my friend of spot. I was able to protect myself, my marriage, my brand that I'm building. And then I still got exposure. And I'm proud of myself on how I maneuvered that filming process. So, God worked it for my good.
He did. He did. And even the hands of like the producers and stuff like that. Because I just feel like with reality TV, they could cut it up to be a certain way. But for us as the audience to still see how you embody just like excellence and what you have been working on even speaks volumes. Because no matter how they tried to cut it up, like you still just embodied my healing and my growth. So that's major.
And that's key, because they can only edit what you give them. And to this day, I'll be honest, I never really got like a direct answer, for as to why the decision was made. But this is, again, me, allegedly, this is me saying this. I just feel that whatever they thought they were going to typecast me for or thought they were going to get, I didn't maneuver that way. And again, I just naturally, that's really who I am. Like when it comes to like mess and drama or, I don't have time for that.
That is major. Oh my goodness. This is just all the more interesting just sitting here talking to you about this, because it's just, again, just watching you over the years, and then just watching you on the TV, you just, even going through your healing process, you just still have embodied just the definition of grace.
Yeah.
If I can say, just grace a woman, a woman after God's own heart. And it's just amazing to see. So yes, I'm in awe over there. Like I'm almost like stuttering. Like I'm like starstruck, guys. Okay, if you could go back and tell your younger self something, what would that be?
I feel like I'm gonna go back to this. Everything is gonna work out for your good. Yeah, and it's okay.
Yeah, that's. It's. I laugh because that's me and my best friend saying right now. It's okay.
It's okay. Gonna be okay, girl. It's gonna be okay.
It's okay. Like just ride it on out. Just if you have to cry. You gotta laugh. It's okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know, going back, and I know you didn't ask this, but I feel like I'm now going back to that younger girl. I just wanted people to like me so bad.
Yes.
And I would dim my light so much.
Yeah.
Especially when it came like to other females, because I wanted everyone else to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, so if I would go into rooms and maybe I'm getting more attention with certain friend groups, you know, as I stated when you asked me about me having that season of isolation, that's when I honestly started to open up to new women friendships, because I had felt like I had been hurt so much in my 20s about different female relationships. And I felt like I dimmed my light a lot.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, no, ma'am, I'm not gonna dim my light. Yeah.
When going back to those moments when you were opening yourself up to new friendships, did people see stuff in you that you didn't see in yourself?
Before or the new friends?
New friends.
I think they all, they see different things. Yeah.
So like they help like pull you out of that.
Cultivate.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
Were you, because I'm in a season of I'm praying for a community. And so granted, like you were just kind of shut off to starting that, but were you still somehow praying for a community in that season? Or was it just God was like, nah, she need this, let me give it to her?
I don't think I was praying for it at that time. But I think that I started just to attract, right? Because I started doing the work.
Yeah.
So I'm different. My mindset is different. Whatever you want to call it, my frequency, my vibration, my reality that I wanted to bring forth into the world started to be different. So I started to bring in or attract different people for that season. And then I think I opened myself up to it. You know, there may be some females, like one of my friends, Crispin, like she actually DM'd me and she was like, let's go out to lunch. And like the old me would not have done that. But when we did it, you know, I opened myself up to that friendship. And again, she is a friend for this season that I need, because we are trying to accomplish the same things. Ladarius is great.
Yes.
Again, I feel like that was just kind of attraction, right? Yes. When he started doing like influencer nights, he invited me and I'm like, okay. And then I remember he had to tell me one time, he was like, girl, stop thanking me. He was like, you are an influencer. Because I don't consider myself to be a content creator or influencer. I feel like I just be doing stuff.
Yeah.
I may go somewhere, I may post a video, but he was like, Synetta, no, like you are an influencer. You are a content creator. He was like, stop telling me thank you to, inviting you here. So like you said, being around him and some other people that I have met in this season is helping me to do the things that I know God has called me to do.
Yes.
But again, I feel like I had to do that work for me to even be able to appreciate them, appreciate those new friends in the season.
And it's amazing how even in that season, he softened your heart to be open. So like you said, your friend asked you to go out to lunch, and the old you would have been like, the fact that it was just like, all right, let me soften her heart to say yes. So that I could get the message to her. He's just so gracious. He is. Like the way that he just maneuvers through things and he just places things in their order. Yeah. It's mind blowing sometimes.
God is good.
Like he is. Yeah, oh my goodness. What they say all the time and all the time. God is good. Okay. So you mentioned how you just kind of wanted to be like when you were growing up. So I can't have a middle child podcast without asking, are you the middle child?
I am like a mixture.
Okay.
So my dad has been married 3 times.
Okay.
So I am within his kids. There are, let me count, 5 of us, right? And I am the baby girl. Okay. So I don't know if that's middle, because I'm like the 4th, and then I have a little brother. Okay. So I don't know if that's, I think my sister may be the middle, but I feel like I'm in the mixture of that. But then I'm my mom's oldest.
Got it. I think a lot of people do. They just feel like if they're not the first or the last, and they're like, yeah, I'm a middle child. Yeah. And it's interesting because when you said that, I'm, of course, am a middle child podcast. But anyway, I I feel like I had to fight for identity because I wanted to be seen. I wanted to be liked. I wanted to be heard. And I know a lot of middle kids, they kind of like struggle with that and getting to know like who they are. So when you said that, that's why I was like, I'm curious. So what do you feel like do you feel like you carry a lot of middle child traits, or do you feel like you carry like more?
Can you give me some more traits maybe of a middle?
So I feel like we struggle to find identity. They say we're rebellious. I don't feel like I was the rebellious one.
Okay.
I feel like I was the one who wanted to be liked so much.
Yeah.
So like my parents, I was just like, I'm not going to college because I don't want y'all to go in debt. So it's kind of like I was trying to be the helpful one. I was trying to stay in the forefront so nobody ever forgot me. So like I was competing with my older sister not to become what she was dealing with at that time. But then I wanted to stay relevant because my younger brother. And so it's kind of like, hey, I'm still here.
Yeah.
And then you have like the babies who just like, they're just spoiled completely. And then the older kids, I feel like they have the responsibility to be perfect.
Yeah.
So that nothing falls apart down the lineage.
I feel like I'm kind of all of that. I don't know what that makes. I don't know. And it's funny because when you were at the beginning, when you asked about like the season, if I had to maybe describe myself in one word, I would say is multifaceted. Because I feel like I'm some of this, some of that, some of that. So I do feel like I struggle with trying to be perfect with me. And then with me being my mom's oldest, I do feel like it's the responsibility for me to, take care of her and then take care of my younger brother, although he's like 30, but still, I'm still like that oldest child. But then I still feel like I'm spoiled. My mom she's great. So she even spoils me with me being her oldest, maybe because I'm her only daughter. I don't know. Then my dad still calls me baby girl, to this day.
Yeah.
But then I do feel like I don't want to say it was struggle with identity, but I do have a sister that's closer to my age and she's very known and very popular. Like I can think about my first time going to 6th grade and I was going to 6th grade and she was going to 9th. So she had like just left. And I remember going into the school and like the 8th grade boys being like, that's Janelle's little sister. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Like, so I feel like I have always kind of been, I don't want to say in her shadow, but she's like, I feel like my second mom or like an identity that I went behind. So maybe kind of struggling with that. I feel like it's kind of everything. That's kind of all of those traits.
So that means you're balanced.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. One day, Royal, one day. All right. So if you could just give people out there advice on just how to become their better selves, like what advice would you give people?
I would say it first starts with loving yourself. I feel like self-love is so important. Yeah. And self-love is not just, doing your makeup, doing your hair, going to get facials, massages. That is more, I feel like maintenance. Yes. Self-love is, like you said, when you are with yourself, really loving who you are, like your soul and your spirit and your thoughts that you have about yourself. Like, what are you thinking about yourself? What do you think you deserve? Yes. And starts with that self-love, loving who you are, how God created you, and being authentic to that. Yes. And then once you start to just truly love yourself, start working on that wholeness. And that is to be with other people, you have to be whole. No one else should complete you. We came into this world by ourselves and we're going to leave by ourselves. So yeah, that self-love, that wholeness, and being okay with self. So
yeah, that's good. Guys, you got to do the work. Look at the man in the mirror and just go ahead and get over the ugly part of it. Yeah. Because you're going to cry.
And stop being a victim.
Yes. I'm in the grieving stage. I'm grieving my old self.
Okay.
So I feel like that's why I call it the ugly stage. Because it's kind of like, it's uncomfortable.
It is.
But it's so hopeful.
Yeah.
It's so hopeful. It's like an outer body experience. Because you know what you have to look forward to.
Yeah.
So yes, stop being the victim and just face the man in the mirror.
Just do it.
And just love on yourself.
Love on yourself.
I love it. All right, Synetta, if you would, give the people your social media so that they can follow you.
My social media for Facebook is Synetta Smith. My Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube is Simply Synetta. I think I covered everything.
If not, guys, we're going to drop everything down below. Oh my God, Synetta, I am so full today. Thank you for stopping by the Middle Child Podcast.
I love this. This is my first podcast. It's just, yes.
It was an honor. It's just, to watch you is one thing. To sit here and talk to you is like something else. Like when you first started talking, I was over here like, all right, girl, we can't cry. We cannot cry. We got a whole show to carry. But yes, like how you said, you embody all the work that you went through has not gone in vain.
Oh my gosh. I really feel so good. Thank you.
It has not gone in vain. And I am not going to let you let up on this whole becoming her situation, because women need it. Like we need it so bad. I'm speaking for them, but I'm definitely speaking for myself. Like we just need somebody who can just come and walk with us along the journey and be transparent and authentic.
Yes.
I think that's what we lack. Like so many people just show us where they are now, but it's just kind of like, help me walk through getting to that point, because that's the hard part.
Yeah.
And so you do that exceptionally. Thank you.
Thank you. And that's confirmation again. And I just feel that if women became whole in every area of life, mind, body, spirit, soul, finances, atmosphere, I feel like the world would change. I really feel like it starts with us, because we are creators. We're nurturers. We set the environment, right? Again, me going back to that wholeness journey, when that lady called that out, me being a wife, I set the tone in my house. You know what I'm saying? That's my responsibility to do that. So if I'm able to cultivate that, I think women, if we could work on ourselves, get it right, I feel like we could change the world.
Yes, absolutely. Imagine everything that we're accomplishing right now at 25 and 50%.
Yeah.
Imagine what you could do if you're at 100%.
Yeah.
Like that's wild. That is wild work. I'm full. I'm full. Oh my God, guys, thank you for watching another episode of the Middle Child Podcast with your girl, Royal Boles, and my amazing and beautiful guest, Synetta Smith. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, love.
Guys, as always, you are seen here, you are loved here, and most definitely you are appreciated here. And until next time, have an amazing day.